What is good, my people? Y'all good? That is amazing. Today, I want us to do a little bit of catching up. Okay, it's been a while. I haven't created any videos, and no, some of you are wondering, hey, my man, where did you go? I'm here, right here. I'm alive, man. I'm alive. Okay, so I hope that is good news in your ears. And today, the most important thing I want to do, I want to deliver a sermon, okay? So, if you're not in a preachy vibes today, of course, okay, it's a Sunday. You should be in a preachy mood. But if you're not in a preachy mood today, you might as well just scroll. I want to speak about something very significant, okay? I want to speak about that is very significant, something that I have been kind of observing lately, especially happening to one of my favorite influencers, the only guy I usually follow on the internet when I go on YouTube. He's the only person who I look forward to watching his content. He's the only person that I try so hard to find out what are they up to, the episodes they put out there, and that guy is Joe Rogan. And if you are properly acclimated with the internet, you realize that guy has been receiving a lot of backlash lately. People saying that he has become a propaganda machine for the elites, for the political elites in the USA, that he doesn't care about his audience anymore. He doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about free speech. He doesn't care about free expression. And he looks like someone who is trying to promote an agenda, okay? He doesn't even care about his friends, because Theo Von was over there, trying to express how he really feels about the world, the state of America and the geopolitics of America. And all Joe was doing was trying to shut him down and recommend a couple of medications. Oh, dude, maybe you need to have your mental health checked out, something like that, instead of offering a listening ear to Theo Von so that Theo Von can feel safe and actually express himself in a proper way. Furthermore, Joe Rogan went ahead and tweeted on X, and he said that Theo Von is kind of falling off, that his mental health is in a very dangerous place, and maybe he needs to seek some sort of medical attention, something that Theo Von didn't really like. That is just the context. The one thing I really want to explore today is this thing we call, mistakes. And most of the time we do make mistakes in life. We do not expect ourselves to be perfect, and therefore we should not expect other people to be perfect. The same way we do not anticipate other people expecting us to be perfect all the time. We are going to make mistakes. And I think we should extend the same grace to the likes of Joe Rogan, because Joe has been a voice for truth for so long. He's the only guy who had a rational platform, a place whereby, regardless of what you think, whether you're a conspiracy theorist, whether you are you're pro-government, where you have some sort of an agenda, Joe will give you a platform, invite you over, give you a platform, share your thoughts, share your side of the story, and then let the audience decide where the truth really lies. Most of the time, the likes of Joe and other people who have big podcasts, these big platforms, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Chris Williamson, these guys don't really know where the truth is. They cannot determine where the truth is. Okay, they can try, but after it's all said and done, they can specifically point out that this is the truth, that is not true. No. What they oftentimes do is offer people a platform whereby they can share their side of the story. Okay? So it is up to you to judge whether someone express themselves honestly and authentically and sincerely and to determine the truth. It is very difficult to just say, okay, this guy is talking, this guy is saying the truth and this guy is not saying the truth. It's very difficult to just do such a thing. And that is why I am saying that Joe Rogan needs our grace right now. I think he's in a place in his life whereby everybody gets there, okay? Everybody, momentarily people usually get there. You are in a place in your life whereby this phase is so challenging and you're trying to reinvent yourself, for the lack of a better word, or just figure out who you are. And I think that is where Joe is, because Joe is a multi-millionaire right now. He's not someone who is struggling. He has a voice. People respect him. People recognize him. That guy has the ability to make somebody's career or destroy somebody's career. He's so powerful, okay? He's so powerful. And to some extent, that is confusing. I know there are people, like very powerful people in Congress and in the United States government who are flooding the inbox of Joe Rogan so that Joe can push a particular side of the story. I know that happens. And I don't see Joe doing such a thing, okay? Like, this guy is just out there doing his best, man. Although there are things that he has kind of fallen back on. There are things that he's not consistent, like advertising and, promoting these AI companies that seem a little bit shady. For example, Palantir, because there are theories circulating on the internet that that the founder, I don't know, is it the founder of Palantir, Peter Thiel, is handling Joe Rogan. And I'm like, okay, wait. Maybe that is true, because Joe Rogan doesn't really tolerate people talking trash about Peter Thiel. And I understand why that might seem a little bit, a little bit biased towards Peter Thiel in the public's eye, okay? But all the same, we have to extend some grace to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has been a hero of ours. I am doing what I'm doing right now mostly because of Joe. I am trying to modulate myself after this guy. I am learning how he does podcasts. I am learning how he does interviews. I am learning how he communicates. He doesn't really use, difficult vocabularies. And I am communicating, or I am developing a communication model that is kind of similar to Joe's, okay? I don't want to be way too articulate. I want to be just as articulate as Joe, and I want to be as curious like that guy. That guy is so curious and he knows a lot of things, and I'm like, wait man, like, how does someone get to be like this guy? Because he's oftentimes, or is surrounded by scientists, smart people, intelligent people, these guys who specifically specialize in these ridiculously, crazy industries, to learn about those industries. So they come over to Joe and then they share that knowledge. So over years, like 20 years, like Joe has been podcasting forever, man. So imagine podcasting for all that time, accumulating such a huge chunk of knowledge and just sharing that with the world. I mean, that is a great service. That guy is doing us a great service. And I think during moments such as these, whereby we sense inconsistencies, we can see gaps in his messaging, we can say that what he says is inconsistent or does not align with what he does, I think we should extend him some grace, because Joe is kind of contradicting himself a lot lately on the podcast, okay? Because you look at some of his work. For example, you look at the episode you look at the episode he did last week, and you try to compare that episode with the episodes that he did maybe yesterday or somewhere. In this particular week, you try to compare the two podcasts, and if they were talking about the same thing, you find that Joe Rogan does not always share the same sentiment depending on the guest. So when certain guests say, share their opinion differently on the podcast, Joe kind of pushes back. But when other guests say the same thing, Joe kind of agrees. So it's a very big inconsistency that people are pointing out, and they're like, Joe, you cannot be doing this, man. You cannot be doing this. You have to pick your poison, man. You have to pick your poison and let it kill you. So that is part of the thing that I wanted to talk about today. And I guess the point I want us all to understand, the point that I'm trying to put across is that let us be empathetic, let us be understanding. Joe Rogan is not an angel, he's not perfect, he's a human being just like us, and he needs grace. He's also learning, he's still learning. Joe Rogan is still in his 50s, right? Yeah, he still has a long way to go. He has at least 30, man. At least 30 years. 30 years. And I'd love to see him around a lot, man. So, okay. So let's just extend some. Okay. I know he knows. Okay. I know he knows that he's kind of falling off, and I know he's working on that. He's working on that because we cannot tear down our heroes the moment we sense the slightest sign of an inconsistency. That is not what happens, okay? That is not what happens. Yeah, so that is the first thing I wanted to talk about today. And the second thing I kind of want to mention, do you guys remember when I was showing you this maize growing 3 or 4 months ago? Look at it now. The maize is all grown. The maize is ready for the harvest. So at this stage of this maize, okay, at this stage you can harvest it, and you can boil it, you can roast it, and you can eat it. So right now this maize is edible, 100% edible, but we are not gonna do that. What we are waiting for is for it to dry, like completely dry, okay? We want it to dry, and then it gets harvested. We expose it to the sun, and then we shell it. Yeah, grind it, turn it into flour, and make some maize flour, something like that. The cassavas are also all grown. They're big, very big. Okay, so just showing you a little bit of the projects that are happening over here. So yeah, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy working in these bushes of green. Like, guys, do you even do this? I mean, most of you people who live in the cities and stuff, you don't get to do this oftentimes, okay? You don't get to do this frequently, because where are you gonna get a green place that you can just walk in, just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the view? Look at this, man. I'm surrounded by vegetation. I'm surrounded by green, man. It's so pleasant to the eye right now. And this is all food. homegrown food, no chemicals at all, very healthy. Yeah, talk about eating healthy foods. We take that very, very seriously over here. We plant most, if not all, of what we eat over here, okay? See, there's more maize over here. There's more maize, there's more maize, there's more maize. Like, this is the best thing about Africa, okay? In the United States and other countries, you have to rely on farmers to supply food for you, okay? Because most people live in cities, they live in towns, and they don't own farms. So the people who decide what you eat or the quality of your food are farmers who you don't even know. And some of them are good people. Some, of course, they are capitalists and they're trying to maximize on their product. They want to make as much money as possible so they want to be richer than they are right now. So what do? They just pump your food with chemicals and all intoxicants, and they sell you bad food, poisonous food, okay? But in Africa, almost every single person is a farmer. Everybody grows their own food. If you have a piece of land, like, bro, everybody grows their own food. Even if people don't have a piece of land, they go out there, rent land, they plant food, and they, harvest that food and just store it in their houses. They don't like buying food, okay? They don't like buying food. And if it comes to that, okay, if it comes to buying food, you buy food from your neighbor, okay? You buy it from your neighbor. It's food you saw growing, being weeded, being fertilized properly. Like, we just put a little bit of fertilizer. We don't drown these crops in fertilizer. We don't do that, man. We are very, very cautious with what we eat, okay? So this is very healthy food. Like right now, look, I am here just talking, and there are guavas. Look, do you see all those guavas? Like, these are guava plant here, and it has guavas. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to pluck one guava and eat it right here. Why? Because I know the guava is not poisonous. The only intoxicant that might be, present on this guava is maybe bad shit. Okay? Maybe some bad came here and just pooped on the guava. But I know the guava is 100% safe. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to reach out, grab one of these, and there are so many, man. There are so many guavas over here. This one is ripe. I don't know if you can see. This one is ripe. There's another one there that is ripe. Yeah. There's another one there that is ripe, okay? So, man, I don't want to go to the cities, bro. Okay? I don't want to go over there. And then there's another one there. Very ripe. Very ripe. I'm gonna pick it. I'm gonna pick it. Man, bro, life is fantastic, okay? Life is fantastic. The only see that? Really good. Very good. See that? See that? Very good, man. Very good. So I was telling you that life in the village is fantastic, man. Okay? Life in the village is fantastic. As long as you get a way to make money, that's the most important thing. I think most people live in the cities because there are opportunities over there, and that is how they get to make their livelihoods, and I understand that. But I decided that I don't want to move to the cities, okay? I want to build my own thing. I want to be in the villages. I want to build something over here. I don't want to be crammed. I don't want to be struggling. I mean, not struggling. I don't want to be bombarded by the pressures that come with living in the cities. All that headache, jam, rent, pollution, noise. Bro, it is so peaceful over here. Look, like you can literally sleep somewhere here at night and nothing is gonna happen to you. Look, right now, it's like I'm in a studio or something. It is so quiet, bro. It's just me in the middle of a fucking cassava plantation talking to you people. Okay? It's it's so tranquil here. I like it. So, I don't think I want to give this up. Okay? I want to give this up. I always want to be closer to such a serene environment. That is my goal, okay? Guys, very good, man. Very good. Very good. So, yesterday, let me tell you a story. Yesterday, I made a friend. And his name is Joe. His name is Joe Etiang. And Joe Etiang is an American. So here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you the story of Joe Etiang. And one of these days, I am going to introduce you to him on one of these episodes, okay? Because guys, I am back to create. I'm back, and I'm back to creating content. So one of these days, I'm going to introduce him to you guys. You gotta meet Joe Etiang. He's an American. If I remember, he said he's from Idaho. Is it Idaho? Something like that. The state of Idaho. Is that even an Iowa? Like, wait. Am I getting these things confused? Is it Idaho? Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. So I was asking Joe, how is America such a good team in this World Cup tournament? Because the one thing we all know about America is that those guys are kind of estranged from soccer. Imagine they don't even call soccer football. I was saying, the one thing we all know about America is that those guys are so estranged from soccer. Imagine they don't even call that sport football. They call it soccer because they have their own version of football. So I was like, bro, how is the US kicking ass in the World Cup tournament? The US is winning all the games, okay? And it's playing some of the best football out there. And it was like, players have always been there. The talent has always been there. It's just that the sport does not have that much recognition in the States. And I was like, that's kind of true. But the one thing we have to agree on is that most of the American players are black. And I saw another video yesterday on TikTok and someone was like, black people are dominating the World Cup tournament. Every single team, almost every single team has black players in abundance. And I was like, man, bro, black people are very athletic. You look at all the sports, apart from maybe swimming, most of these sports have black people in abundance. Look at football, American football. Look at NBA. Look at NBA. Look at hockey. Is that true? Or am I just making up shit? Okay, I don't know, man. So, okay. So we went ahead. We had a couple of guys. My phone is kind of running low on storage, so I have to cut this episode short. But I hope you enjoyed the episode, and see you next time. But remember, one of these days I will introduce you to Joe. You're gonna meet him because we are planning to go hiking somewhere in Uganda. He has been there. He liked the food. He liked the scenery over there. So we are going to explore over there. And yeah, you're gonna meet him very, very soon. And maybe we will be making these videos with him. A couple of them. I don't want to be way optimistic about these things. Okay, so guys, adios. Subscribe, man.